Bro, I'm not on your trail, bro. I'm trying to better you, bro. I don't want nothing to happen to you. You jumping out, then y'all already be jumping out the car. Man, nigga shoot you with that special old nigga. You jump out on the OG like that, they'll shoot you, man. And you don't even know it.
Boosie Badazz has finally reached his limit with his son Tootie Raw's behavior. And trust me, this specific conflict is really something wild. We are looking at a millionaire artist child who is picking the streets over a stable life. Narcotics over logic, and social media fame over basic intelligence. This isn't merely some family friction, folks. This is a cautionary lesson regarding what happens when extreme wealth meets terrible decisions. The digital world is buzzing over this, and with good reason. This scenario has levels to it that most observers haven't even noticed yet. Let's dissect this. No lies. So listen up. Boosie went live recently and essentially shared his deepest feelings about his son, Tootie, and man, he was not holding anything back.
And it cover up your beauty, bro. You got a nice face, a legendary haircut. Why cover it up? You ain't got no tattoos in your face. You got a nice looking face, bro. Why cover it up? You got a nice looking face, bro. The little girls like you, bro. Why cover it up?
Boosie has been observing his son's downward spiral for months, maybe years, and he finally reached his capacity. The addiction to lean has Tootie acting strange, turning against the people who actually care for him. And get this, the kid even attempted to get physical with his own father. His father, people that is, when you realize the narcotics have completely taken over. Boosie explained it this way: I recognize it as the drugs, but that does not make the pain any less. That is a father's heartbreak right there. Man, imagine raising a child, providing him with everything, and seeing him discard it all for some cough syrup and street status he doesn't even require. The way Boosie spoke, you could hear the pure fatigue in his tone. This wasn't just rage anymore. This was a parent who had hit his absolute breaking point. He mentioned he is dealing with high blood pressure because of this mess. Stressed to the level where his own physical health is declining. That is when you realize a parent has exhausted every option and nothing is helping. Here is where it gets crazy, folks. Boosie disclosed he provided all his children with $500,000 when they turned 18. Every single child, but with Tootie, this man handed his son more than $1.2 million. And what did Tootie do with those funds? Every cent I provided, he poured into a cup or wasted on some smoke. Boosie mentioned lean and marijuana every single day. No investing, no saving, no growth, just burning through cash like it has no value. Meanwhile, ordinary people out here are struggling to cover rent, and this kid treats millions like play money. Reflect on this for a second. $1.2 million could establish security for several generations. That is real estate money, business capital, investment funds. That is the kind of wealth that could have Tootie living in luxury forever without ever needing to touch the criminal world. But instead, he is literally drinking and smoking his entire inheritance away. Boosie tried everything. Included him on tours, placed him around actual entrepreneurs and real men. Attempted to show him a different life. He introduced him to legitimate commercial opportunities. Tried to educate him on generating wealth the correct way. But Tootie wasn't listening. He assumed his father was attempting to dominate him when really the man was trying to preserve his life. The wild part is Boosie understands what actual poverty feels like. He started from nothing and created an empire. So seeing his son discard what he worked so tirelessly to provide must be like watching his life's achievement get flushed down the toilet. Now, let's discuss how this entire situation became even more chaotic. Charleston White, to know this guy, always stays involved in some form of drama. He apparently set Tootie up and got him arrested for possessing a switch. For those unaware, a switch is basically a component that converts a standard Glock into a fully automatic firearm. That is federal prison time we are discussing, not some minor misdemeanor. Charleston White was on his channel boasting about it. Boosie's son, I just sent him to jail. I knew that kid had that switch in it. I lured him over there. I get him 10 years with that.
Hey, TMZ. Tootie Raw, Lil Boosie's son, I just put his ass in jail. I told his baby mama don't be talking that goddamn shit to me. I knew that boy had that switch in it. Cause you know they get him over there. They get him 10 years over that bitch.
According to Charleston, Tootie had been making threats against him and prohibited him from entering Atlanta. So what does Charleston do? He organizes an entire operation, informs Tootie of his exact location, and when the kid arrives, boom, the police are right there waiting. That is some very calculated behavior right there. But here's the thing. Charleston White has been pointing this out for a while. He stated Tootie was acting reckless, carrying illegal firearms, and issuing threats. Charleston even claimed he knew exactly what Tootie was carrying before he made that phone call. That means this wasn't some accidental setup. This was Charleston studying Tootie's habits and using them to trap him.
Tootie Raw ass arrested within 2 hours of stepping foot on Atlanta soil. I told y'all I was gonna get him. I told y'all, say this, go somebody go get my bag. Somebody gonna get my police.
Now, I am not saying Charleston was correct for informing, but let's be honest. If you are carrying illegal guns and making threats, you are looking for trouble. Tootie walked straight into that ambush because he was acting careless and easy to predict. A genuine street person would have recognized that setup from a long distance away. The federal charges Tootie is facing are no joke either. We are looking at 10+ years potentially. That switch charge is a serious matter. And with his history of behavior, the lawyers are going to be very harsh on him. You must learn from your errors.
Learn from your mistakes. But when people get grown, that's what make you better as a man. That's what grow you up. The mistakes you make gonna make you a better person, or you're gonna be a dummy. So that's what changed me. The mistakes I made. That's what make you smarter. That's what make you richer. That's what make you more wiser from the mistakes you.
Here's the aspect that really has people talking. Tootie Ra is the ultimate example of wealthy kids who desperately want to be from the hood. This kid was raised in $1 million estate with access to everything he could possibly desire. His father already cleared the path, already escaped the struggle, already secured the wealth for the entire family. But instead of valuing that gift, Tootie wanted to return to the ghettos of Baton Rouge and pretend to be a gangster. According to reports, this kid was allegedly selling drugs and earning $1,500 a day. But for what reason? Your father is worth millions. You do not need to gamble with your life for pocket change when you already possess generational wealth. It is as if he was trying to prove something to individuals who do not even matter. Trying to establish his reputation in the streets when his surname already holds massive weight? That is some backward logic right there. Seriously? This is a classic example of an identity crisis. Folks, Tootie likely felt like he didn't earn his status, didn't deserve the admiration that came with being Boosie's child. So instead of expanding on what his father handed him, he wanted to build his own story. Even if that story was constructed on criminal acts and personal ruin. The irony is insane though. Boosie struggled to escape that setting, and his son is struggling to get back inside. It is like seeing someone intentionally walk into quicksand while they are standing on concrete. Now, Charleston White criticized Boosie regarding how he raised Tootie, and some of his arguments actually resonate differently. Charleston stated Boosie raised him within chaos, placed cameras in his face before the kid had a conscience, allowed him to witness things a child is not meant to see. That is actually the truth. No lies. Boosie had Tootie near the rap industry since day one, showed him that lifestyle before the kid could even grasp the outcomes. When you are placing a child in adult environments, do not be shocked when they commit adult errors. Think about it. Tootie has been around wealth, drugs, brutality, and hood politics since he was tiny. He probably saw his father's partners, heard talks about criminal acts, and saw the praise of that life firsthand. To him, that probably seemed completely normal.
Yeah, put them foes up, Tootie. Where you from? Put them up. This Tootie badass. Tell the camera where you from. Cross the what? Track.
Charleston also noted, you educated him on how to fail before you educated him on how to think. Man, that is blunt, but it might be accurate. When you are celebrating the hood life in your art and your child is observing, what signal does that transmit? Boosie's tracks are filled with mentions of drug sales, violence, and street status. While that is his creative outlet and his reality, having a young kid constantly seeing those themes likely molded Tootie's perspective in ways Boosie didn't expect. Even Boosie admits he committed errors. The man stated he is stressed, has high blood pressure from this mess, and his health is failing. That is when you know a parent realizes they might have played a role in their child's ruin. The entertainment sector is famous for ruining celebrity kids. When you are always in the public eye, always around adult scenarios, and always hearing about your parents' former struggles and crimes, it can produce a distorted sense of what is real.
You get older, you be like, bro, like, how the f you 40 years old still gotta look over your shoulder, you know, from your past. That's a f***ed up feeling. When you gotta go especially when you go in your seat, you gotta look everywhere over your shoulder. Like, that shit wasn't worth it. The respect you got for anything you did ain't worth you being a older man looking over your motherfucking shoulder.
That's right.
Let's discuss the main issue here. Tootie's lean problem. Boosie stated it clearly, that damn lean captured my son. And anyone who understands lean knows it isn't just a casual high. That substance alters your entire character, makes you suspicious, hostile, and erratic. Boosie described seeing his son, thinking differently, acting strange, turning against the people that love him. That is classic addiction behavior right there. The narcotics become more vital than family, more vital than wealth, more vital than your own future. Lean addiction is specifically risky because it is often praised in hip-hop culture. Rappers talk about drinking syrup and mixing up like it is just a fashion choice. But the truth is far grimmer. Leon contains codeine and promethazine, which are extremely addictive opioids that can cause breathing failure, seizures, and death. Charleston White had some blunt remarks about this too. That lean isn't his issue. It is his exit. He is drinking because he is numb. He is fleeing from reality. Sometimes the truth is painful, but that might be exactly what is occurring here. The habit likely began as a way to manage the stress of being Boosie's son, the expectations, the identity struggle, and the constant observation. But, like all habits, it quickly became the primary problem rather than the fix. What makes this even sadder is that Tootie had access to the top rehab centers, the top clinicians, and endless funds to get sober. But addiction does not care about your bank balance. It is an equal opportunity destroyer. Here is what is truly insane about this entire mess. Tootie was trying so hard to be liked by people who would never support him the way his family does. He wanted to belong in the hood, wanted to be viewed as a real street guy. But for what? The streets do not love you back, kid. Those same individuals who were praising him when he was throwing cash and taking gambles, where are they now that he is behind bars? Likely already moved on to the next person with something to prove. This is the snare that traps many wealthy kids who want street status. They believe if they can show they are real enough, they will gain authentic admiration and devotion. But street admiration is conditional and fleeting. It is based on what you can provide for people, not who you are inside. Tootie was probably receiving affection from street guys because he had funds to waste and links to exploit. But that is not true friendship. That is business. The second he couldn't offer value, those same individuals would betray him without a second thought. Boosie tried to remove him from that world several times, provided him chances to travel, to be around thriving people, to see what true wealth and influence look like. But Tootie kept returning to Baton Rouge, kept trying to validate himself to people who do not matter. The tragic part is Tootie already possessed everything those street guys were trying to obtain. He had wealth, links, chances, and a father who had already validated himself in those same neighborhoods. But instead of using those benefits, he discarded them, chasing approval from people who were likely envious of his status.
I'm not on your trail, bro. I'm trying to better you, bro. I don't want nothing to happen to you. You jumping out, then y'all already be jumping out the car. Man, nigga shoot you with that special old nigga. You jump out on the OG like that, they'll shoot you, man. And you don't even know it.
Now look where we are. Tootie is facing heavy federal counts for that switch. His bond with his father is broken, and his addiction is beyond control. All for what? To appear tough. To receive admiration from people who were never truly on his side anyway. Charleston White mentioned something that is tough to hear, but might be vital. That kid Tootie needs to go to jail. That is the best thing that can occur for him. No rehab will work on a child like that. That kid needs a cell, a floor, and a detox the difficult way. That is cold, but sometimes the bottom is the only wake-up call that functions. When you have millions of dollars and still pick destruction, normal results do not seem to matter. The federal system is built to crush people and rebuild them. No store money, no special favors, no father's influence, just you, your actions, and the results. For someone like Tootie who has been shielded from real results his whole life, that might be exactly what he requires. The most painful part of this entire event is seeing Boosie make the toughest choice a father can make. Backing away, he stated, "I am not turning my back on my son, but I am pulling back. That is love, that is survival." This man understood he was about to ruin his own health trying to assist someone who does not want assistance. He has other children, other duties, and he cannot forfeit everything for one child's bad decisions. Boosie also spoke of his other kids, and that is vital. When one child is using all your spirit and capital with toxic behavior, the other kids suffer. They watch their brother get all the focus, even if it is negative focus, and they see their parents' health breaking. How many other famous kids are experiencing similar battles? How many parents are seeing their children discard chances that most people would die for? There's also the strain of living up to a famous father's legacy. Tootie likely felt like he could never match Boosie's street status and success. So instead of trying to outdo his father, he tried to mimic his father's past. Even the parts Boosie was trying to move past. Boosie likely blamed himself for years, thinking that if he just found the right tactic, the right clinic, or the right words, he could rescue his son. But the truth is that Tootie had to find his own bottom before he would be prepared to change.
Does he remind you of you?
Yeah.
The way he is?
Yeah. It remind me of me so much. But I kind of, sometimes I gotta blame myself sometimes for, my son. My son grew up at a time where I was really in the streets, He was with me all the time, like he really come up around it. I should have separated my son from a lot of stuff. I thought that was cool, but it was ignorant at the time. I got on this the other day, like, what the hell are you rap? I don't like my son rapping about all this murder and all this stuff. What I showed him? What else he did? What else I done showed him since he was a boy? Like, bro, we was raising these kids wrong.
Ultimately, this entire situation is just tragic. Folks, you have a father who struggled out of poverty, created lasting wealth, and tried to give his son every chance in life. And you have a son who discarded it all. following something that was never authentic to begin with. This scenario demonstrates that cash cannot fix everything. Wealth can actually turn into a curse when it is not matched with proper advice, limits, and results. Tootie had every benefit in life, but he also had the disadvantage of being raised in a setting where toxic behavior was normal and praised. The lean habit, the firearm counts, the street status obsession, all of these are signs of deeper problems that cash cannot repair. Identity crisis, zero purpose, strain to match impossible goals, and the praise of self-harming behavior. Perhaps this wake-up call will be what Tootie requires to fix his life. Perhaps facing actual results will finally make him value what he possessed. Or perhaps this is just the start of a longer, darker path. Federal jail could be his rescue or his final ruin. It all relies on how he decides to manage it. Regardless, this scenario should be a lesson to anyone watching. Cash cannot buy wise choices. Wealth does not ensure good decisions. And sometimes the people who care most have to back away to preserve themselves. The streets do not care for you. Addiction does not care about your bank balance. And admiration gained through intimidation and brutality is short-lived and empty. Boosie did what he had to do to save his own mental state and his other children. That is not quitting, that is surviving. And maybe, just maybe, it is exactly what Tootie needs to finally grasp that his decisions have actual results. What do you all think? Leave your views in the comments. Should Boosie have pulled back earlier? Is Charleston White wrong for informing? And can Tootie fix his life? Or is it finished? Tell me your thoughts, and ensure you subscribe for more honest talk content like this. This kind of scenario is occurring in families everywhere, and we must continue these dialogues. Peace out, gang.